Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review the Tenants. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 25 bucks. It looks like there's a 20% launch discount right now until November 3rd, so you can get the game for about 20% off or 20 bucks should you want to pick this up for yourself. So I have covered the Tenants before, and back then it was in a early access state. The game has since fully released, at least recently it did, and we're here to take another quick look at it. This is essentially a landlord simulator where you're going to be buying, selling properties, but you can also take on side jobs in order to gain a little bit of money. You can take out loans. There's some mini games in there, which I'll get to later. So here's a quick look at the options menu. Just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. You can censor pests and drugs if you don't like the fact that you have to clean up. Like, on occasion, there'll be rats or cockroaches that you have to clean up with your uncle, or you can pay to do it, but it's just so expensive. So you can censor those things if you want to. There's an autosave frequency there. Graphics, just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. There's some sliders there, controls, and that's about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit continue. When you start a new game, you can name your company. The game will take you through a tutorial of sorts, but for the most part, it's pretty standard. Now, truth be told, I have not completed this game in its entirety yet. I've played this particular playthrough for about 3 or 4 hours now. It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of like The Sims in that whenever you go into your build menu, you get to plop down various pieces of furniture, and that may appeal to some people. So let me just pause it real quick. There's a lot of pop-ups in this game that will demand your attention. So this is sort of like a respond to things simulator. And as someone, personally, I've worked as an office manager for a real estate company before. It's true. People will bug you regularly for various things. It's a very tiring job, and this game simulates that, but perhaps too well. Upper left-hand corner, again, I chose like a persona, like a character that I could be. You can see your current level, which I'll get to a little bit later. Your current cash, you've got these landlord points. You obtain landlord points by just doing things. For example, there are these elite contracts that will pop up from time to time, and you get points for completing those. Whenever you send in your Uncle Steve to do the maintenance work rather than pay to have it done, you'll get some landlord points for that. Ending a lease, it looks like tenants renovation requests, so various things will increase your landlord points. And then those are like research points. They're currency that you can spend to research your tenants' preferences, among other things. You can currently see how many properties you have. You have to actually unlock more properties as you go. Like you're capped out at 2 in the beginning, and then you can buy an upgrade that lets you have 3, and then you can buy an upgrade that lets you have 4. You have to spend cash and research points or these landlord points in order to do that. How many tenants you currently have. Upper right-hand corner is the time controls. Pause, ×1, and ×2 is it. City map. There are 3 sections to the game, and you start off in like the slums area, and then you work your way up as you progress. I've never gotten to that point, but from what I understand, you can actually assign agents to places you've already been to sort of manage your properties. But again, I've never really gotten that far, just because I'm always covering some other kind of game, and I never have time to actually sit down and play just one. Finances. Here you can actually see your cash flow, but you also get to pay your bills from here too. I love that there's a check mark that says pay automatically. You'll have to pay for electricity, water, gas, housing, heat, and all that. That's just, you have to pay these bills. What I don't like is that in real life, typically, you can negotiate leases with tenants to where they pay their own utilities. So, for example, you could say, I'm gonna rent you this place for $550 plus utilities, meaning you have to pay your own utilities, or it's $1,000, but you have it all until utilities are included. We'll pay the water, gas. So, like, there's no way to set that, as far as I can tell. There's no way to negotiate utilities and side bills in with the rent that you're charging. That's something I would have liked to have seen, because that is a thing in real life. Some apartments come with all utilities, some do not. So I would have liked some negotiation here where I can, get an estimate of the bills and then maybe do an all-inclusive package deal kind of thing. So yeah, you can see your different properties and what they're bringing in. This is the guidebook. This is sort of like your encyclopedia / tutorial area there. As you renovate apartments, whether it's a side contract or a property you just bought, you'll sometimes get the option to fix something up and sort of restore it. If you're successful, you can add it to your inventory and you can put it down later, which is cool. So yeah, I mean, these are, and you can upgrade your player storage too via a skill tree, which I'll show you in a little bit. So you can restore things and then place them out in your esteemed properties. Not the slum stuff, but you can just wait until you've got a really good property, you just want to sort of upsell a lot. You can throw all your good stuff there if you want. You've got a properties overview, again, kind of similar to the cache area, but this is more of like a streamlined version of it. I love the little map button. It sort of zooms to that location and you can see who's inside there. You can even rent out on a per room basis. So if you have 2 bedrooms, for example, you could bring in 2 tenants. One is living on the right and one is living on the left. This is one thing I hate about this game. In real life, landlords do not come in and clean for you. In this game, you are tasked with doing it. So, for example, begin cleaning. Now I have to send in my Uncle Steve to clean this mess. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I don't know how it is in other states, but in Pennsylvania, we clean our own crap, and we're expected to clean our own crap. The fact that we have to send a landlord or a helper in to clean for the tenant, that is so weird. It's just, I don't know, is that standard in other countries? I don't know, but in the States, as far as I can tell, like, there's no such service, not unless you're willing to pay for it. That's why maid services exist in real life, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, it's just weird that you are expected to, on occasion, come in and clean up after your people. And that's the crux of some of what I don't like about this game. It's you've got pop-up, 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 pop-up. Oh, I gotta clean this, pop-up, pop-up. It's just constant. There's no break to just sit there and fast forward. And, I'm constantly clearing out my phone. All right, anyway, so getting back to properties overview. Target cards, these are like side quests that you can try and do. Just do them will grant you, I guess, experience and other rewards, which is kind of cool. Rewards take the form of like loot boxes that will just grant you new items. So in the beginning of the game, you can only place so many items in a property. But as you play the game, you unlock even more things. Think of it as like The Sims, but The Sims has a lot of that stuff locked until you level up and now you can build it. Well, think of it as EA's DLC policy, but I'm not going to get into that one. Anyway, Tenants overview. This is how happy they are, what their occupation is, what their salary is. Yeah, it's just a cashier, $84,000. I want to meet someone in real life that's making $84,000 as a cashier. Some of these jobs are unrealistic. I saw a janitor on here making $100,000. I'm like, really? I'm an accountant by trade, no longer working right now, medical issues and all that, but I never made anywhere close to $100,000 as an accountant, but yet as a cashier, you're making $84,000. Something's off. This does not make any sense to me, and it's just not realistic. Options menu, and then you've got your phone. Here you can check out messages. There's one bug in the game I will point out. Like, it says I've got 2 messages here, but when I click on it, there's no messages. Sometimes this will bug, and whenever you click the clear all button, whenever you read all and clear all messages, this does not update appropriately. Like, the whole clear all button does not wipe this number 2 alert out, unfortunately. So that's a bug that the developers need to look at. It's not game breaking, it's just annoying because I don't like that number up there. I want it clear. Jobs, these are side contracts that you can do, and they range from watch over my people, which is this one here. I hit accept, and for 7 days I have to see to their demands. Just watch over, make sure they don't kill themselves. That's what that is. Some of them are help finding the right tenant. You have to screen people. It's like an open house. People come in and you can run background checks, but they have to meet the right criteria that the landlord wants. Has to be someone between 38 and 45 years old. Previous tenancies at least 2. The downside is you're given an $850 budget. So if you don't get lucky and you're running all these background checks on people, and you don't find what you're looking for, you're out of money now, the budget, and now you can't meet that. You just have to accept the fact that you're going to get a poor grade on that assignment unless you get super lucky and pick someone that has that. But yeah, that's just another side job you can do. Most of it, though, is renovating, where people will say, okay, I've got a room. I want you to make it over with my specifications. And I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and hit accept so I don't lose it. And you can have at max 2 jobs. So right now I've met my 2 jobs. My main goal in the upper left is in like I guess a red burgundy background there. I have to reach a monthly cash flow of 4413, and I have to buy and sell properties in order to do that. Mainly buy properties and just let the rent flow in, although minus the bills and repairs and all that jazz. Getting back to the phone, there's the player screen. This is where you can see your progression. You get loot boxes as you level up, which again contain items that you can put out into the world. You can see your job reviews, how well you're doing in terms of what, how well your service has been and your renovations have been. There are various pickups that you can, pick up in the environment, and you can keep track of that here. Getting back to the phone, there's a bank if you want to take out loans or pay back loans early, you can do that. Properties, this is where you can see what you've owned. You can put it up for sale, or you can purchase new ones, assuming you've got the cash to do it. It'll take you to a location. You'll investigate it for a very brief period of time with your uncle, see what it's worth, and then start bidding on it with other NPC people. So there's that. Skill tree, very, very bare bones this. I would have liked more options here. There's landlord, tenants, and uncle. And those are the 3 trees. And as you level up, you assign points. It's standard stuff. There's 1 tree dedicated to your uncle. And as nice as this is in the early game, it's going to be useless late game because you're going to probably be making so much money from rent. You can just pay to have things done rather than send your uncle in for free to do it. So if you reach that point where you can't be bothered with the mini games anymore, clearing out the cockroaches by spraying or putting down rat traps or fixing this appliance, whatever, you can send in your uncle to do that all for free, but at some point you're going to get tired of those mini games because they just keep coming up over and over and over again. So this tree becomes completely useless because the majority of this tree is centered around your uncle. So I wish there was more use for him. What I've liked to have seen, and it's not in any of these skill trees, is making maybe a flat buff or a flat discount to the bills that you have to pay on your property. So maybe lowers electricity bills by 5, 10%, 15%, something like that, to make everything cheaper so it progresses the game a bit more quickly so you don't have to grind as much or wait as much. And there's nothing like that. There's no skill to lower utilities or anything like that. Some of the skills like add 6 more to player storage, unlocks lease duration options, open house marketing, bank offers, and then under tenants you can send them gifts, and that's all this is under tenants. It's just like send in cookies, send a professional dancer, clown, evil clown. Yes, you can actually sabotage your people and make them move out, or you can make them happy by sending them gifts. That's all this tree is. So I feel like this skill tree is half-baked. I don't want to use the other word because this is family-friendly. Again, I would have liked to have seen some economic choices to make everything cheaper. That would have been cool. I don't see anything like that here. A camera where you can just take pictures and settings, phone skin, phone wallpaper, stuff like that. Okay, so now that I've showed you the interface, let's get to showing you a little bit about gameplay. Again, this is more of a review. I've kind of already mentioned everything I hate and don't hate. Let me go ahead and extend this lease real quick. If they are happy, you can just hit extend lease and be done with it. As tenants level up, you can hit claim. You get increase the tenant's monthly rent permanently by 100, which is nice. So there's a reason to actually keep tenants around, make them happy. The more they level up over time, I'm going to go ahead and hit research so I can learn something about them. Maybe they don't like sweets, in which case I don't want to send them donuts or cake or something like that, you know what I mean? So you can research them. Anyway, extend lease, just a default extend lease. I could negotiate, but I don't have time to do it right now. Okay, so on the left-hand side, I have to, again, take care of this tenant's needs. I don't have to watch him. He'll ping me when they need something. So I'm going to instead zoom to this location in which I have to renovate one room. So I typically click on a location, begin cleaning it up, and there'll be just 85% restore chance or scrap. Well, this is a small table. I don't want to keep that. This looks like some kind of cat. Is that a desk? That looks like some kind of desk. I'll go ahead and restore it. Why not? And then if he's successful, then I'll go ahead and add it to my storage. It looks pretty expensive, I guess. All right. So he's now done cleaning, and now I'll send him out there, exit and renovate. So now I have to find the one room that they want me to renovate. Holding in, I think it was left Alt, lets you see the different rooms and what their style is. And that's a big thing in this game. Different items in this game have different tags. Some are modern, some are contemporary, some are rustic, some are posh, whatever. So you're going to be fulfilling the needs of the people by putting in that particular item. Luckily, you can just click on this item tags preference button, and it automatically filters it for you so that it only shows the items that the people are interested in. So carpet, I'm going to go ahead and put down this shift. There we go. Shift click, just autofills. Wall, wants a brown wall. You can look for this manually, but you just click on the right-hand side. It's so easy. I love that. So I'm going to put in some drums and this guitar and this harp, because why not? One thing I will mention is that I rebound my keys, but then the game reset them without me telling it to. So I'm just using the default keys for right now, which is kind of annoying. Amplifier. This filter does not show anything that falls within that, so I'm going to clear out the filter and just put this amp down. And as you can see, there are some adjacency bonuses. So I'm going to put that right there. That's fine. That needs electricity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little utility button down here, and I have to put in outlets. So that's electricity. That's sort of covering that. There's also one for water, for air vents for heat. There's water and floor water pipe, that kind of thing. But I'm going to jump back to furniture now. And audio system. I'll put in an audio system. Maybe I'll just put that against the wall there. And I need another seat. Again, I'll click on that. Preferences. We'll just do that. Again, I don't do a whole lot with this. People can sit here and design to their heart's content. I just throw crap down, observe whatever adjacency bonuses I can at that time. But this is just ends to a means to make money. So I just throw stuff down just to throw stuff down. Small decorations, again, cubes. Some items are better on tables, so maybe we'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4. Awful, but whatever. Preferred furniture, these are like extras that people would want, so just put a wall plant there and a mirror over. Just do that. Sure. Ooh, got some noisy tenants here. I'll deal with that in a moment. I'll hit that button there. You're right, I'll talk to them. Okay, so some people are complaining about tenants' music, so I'll talk to the tenants about that. They're not going to like the fact that I have to talk to them, but anyway, getting back to this. Everything looks done on the right-hand side, so I'm going to click on the last button on the bottom left and hit Deliver Job, and now someone will come in and grade me based on, you know, how well I did. And that's where that whole review system comes into play under this player section. So we'll just quickly see what they liked, what they didn't like. Did I do a good job? If you do a very good job, you'll typically get some bonus money for it. So now he's still grading me at the moment. All right. You done? Looks like he's uploading his review. Okay, I got 5 stars. Awesome. I got $4,800 plus an additional $800 for that job. Not too bad. So again, you can wait around and let the rent roll in, minus utilities or other expenses, or you can do side jobs to help supplement your income. What is it? Looks like some kind of lease extension. I'll just extend lease. That's fine. Increase tenants' happiness by 10. Awesome. Okay. So, yeah, we're still babysitting this person. Did they want anything? Did I miss anything? Sorry, I'll be more quiet. Okay, just mark all as red, delete all. Okay, sometimes your tenants will not send you rent on time, so sometimes you have to sort of talk to them. You can be mean, you can be polite about it. There's a small, like a small dialogue option choice thingy that you can pick when that kind of thing comes up. But yeah, I've got, it looks like 5 more days before this person, let's go ahead and just fast forward. Let's just see if they need anything. Okay, this person sent me money. Just smoke it in front of the toilet, as is typical. Oh, rats. This is one of the mini games I was talking about. So again, I can send a pro in for $1,600. Now again, whenever you're doing a babysitting job, the landlord has given you money as a budget to spend on them. It does not subtract from your own. That said, imagine this happening to one of your own tenants. It's either you send in your uncle for free and do the minigame, or you just bypass the minigame for $1,600. I hate that. Give me an option in the skill tree to reduce this considerably, because this is just way too much. So I'm going to send my uncle in. And now this is, again, a minigame where I just walk around the apartment setting traps. I wait for the bar to fill up. I hit the button again. It's 1 rat per trap, so I just have to do this like 5 or 6 times. Super annoying. The rats just automatically sort of, it's like a heat-seeking missile almost. Alright. I mean, yes, you can level up Steve to make him, I don't know, like, he gives bonuses to when he does manual stuff like this. But my point is, I want to automate, I'm all about the automation, so the less minigames I have to deal with, the better. And there's nothing in the game to really encourage that, especially with the price of some of these optional, I'll have a professional do it. It's just, it's not worth it, in my opinion. In the beginning of the game, you're so strapped for cash that that second option is just not lucrative at all. So I would love something under the skill tree that makes those kinds of secondary automation options cheaper. So there you go, folks. That was a quick look at the Tenants. I do recommend this game. Just be warned that I feel like I'm just bouncing from minigame to minigame, from problem to problem. 25 to 50% of it is me being creative and putting down new stuff in a property. But over time, as you get more properties, more and more tenants will ping you with their problems. You think one place is bad with one person pinging you all the time. Imagine 4 or 5 properties. They're all pinging you for rat problems, or my stove broke down, or hey, I need to clean this location. It's just constant. So again, this game needs more automation, in my opinion, for me to fully enjoy it. As of right now, I can only handle it in short spurts. I like the economy. I like the whole buying and selling of property. I like that kind of business simulation. I like being a landlord. I love that. But the automation is just not there. It's just not lucrative to automatically have, you know, jobs be done. Your uncle has to be the one to go in there in the early game, otherwise you're going to go bankrupt. Again, this bug is also annoying. I've got 4 messages apparently, and they're all clear. Again, hitting that select all or mark all as red, then delete, that causes that bug to happen. So even though this is quote-unquote fully released, I feel like that they could do a whole lot more to this. What now? Cockroach. Another minigame that I absolutely hate. Just, again, same as the rats. You just go around and you spray, spray, spray until they're all gone. That's gameplay. So, the Tenants. Do I recommend it? Yes, but just be warned, if you do not like repeated minigames like this, then you're going to hate it. Just say it. I mean, if they got rid of that somehow, or gave you the option to bypass it, or at least mitigate the cost with skill tree points, then I would be playing this a lot more than I already am. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.